looking forward to the Women's World Cup, which is starting on July the 20th. The Republic of Ireland have qualified for their first ever World Cup. They're actually the opening game against the host Australia. So the tournament has been held in Australia and New Zealand. So we'll talk about that maybe next week. So just now for this show, we're going to look at this. The Women's Republic of Ireland have named their 23-man squad. And so we'll just go through, we'll just have a look at it and again, it's 23, I said 23-man squad, but with 23-player squad, I suppose. Anyway, so with the goalkeepers, and the number one goalkeeper there is Courtney Brosnan. She's the number one. You have Grace Maloney and Megan Walsh are the two, we call them the sub-goalies, number 2 and 3. But Courtney Brosnan, and the amazing now, Noel, that's an Irish name, but she's actually born in America. And the women's soccer in America is actually a professional league. So she's born in America. I think her grandparents are Irish. But that name, that's a good, now how long is that an Irish name, Noel? That's actually a Kerry name. Brosnan is a Kerry name. So she has plenty Irish blood, and her grandparents were Irish. But she was brought up in the American system. The Americans are the defending World Cup champions. So the women's soccer in America is very well developed at the colleges, the collegiate system, and they have a professional league. So she's coming from a good place, and she's a top goalkeeper, and she's a great number of clean sheets. So just a quick word on that. It's good, very important in all field sports to have a top keeper.
It is, Paul. You mentioned America there. She's obviously, she's got relatives from Kerry. I actually seen her. I think she made a visit down to Kerry there recently enough, and saw her with the Kerry jersey. And there's always a time when they get the relatives down from Kerry, they put the Kerry jersey on them. But I think she's a fine keeper. I sometimes have a little bit worries about her, Paul. I remember the friendly we had against the USA. I thought she could wear, but it was an overhead cross and she got caught out. I have my worries a little bit about her with her feet. Sometimes walking out from the back, I'm always a bit hesitant to see how she does, because I think she's a good goalkeeper. Sometimes I do find a little bit worried about her, but look, she's kept plenty of clean sheets. She's done nothing wrong. She set the penalty course against Scotland in the playoff match in Scotland. So she's earned her play. She's earned her place, and she's a fine goalkeeper. It's just sometimes I have a little bit of worry about her. But having said that, though, she's gone through the qualifying campaign and played very, very well.
I suppose the only thing comment, and we move on now. This is not a criticism of Courtney Brosnan, but we do know that we're going to call it spade a spade. Men are tradition normally a little taller than women will say. So in goalkeepers, even the ladies football, in the Gaelic games, ladies football, you can see sometimes it can get cut out for a high ball. And so in the soccer, remember the soccer goals is it the 8-foot goal, so it's the full size as you would expect from FIFA. So that could be a worry, we'll say. But look, that's just all about positioning too. She's a top keeper. She has done it at the best. And we all know it isn't every keeper makes a mistake, but how you respond afterwards. And she responded very good in the game, even the game against the States. She conceded that goal, a qualifying game, but she responded very good afterwards. And she's been very good in all the games, the 2 qualifying warm-up games there. So I think she's a top-class keeper, and we wish her the best luck. And she has two subs there ready to come in if necessary. We now look at the defenders, Noel, and to me, the 2 main defenders that stand out with me are Niamh Fahey and Louise Quinn. Now, both of them are experienced players, both of them over 100 caps. Niamh Fahey is also playing with Liverpool ladies, Liverpool women's team. And there's a professional league, a semi-professional league, he's a professional league in England as well. And Liverpool would be one of the top teams in it, would say. So Niamh Fahey and Louise Quinn are the 2 experienced players. And in every squad, you have to have a mix of youth and experience. And I think there would be, in my opinion, they would be the 2 top, or not the 2 top, but they'll be able to kind of knit a team together with it, you know what?
Well, definitely, Louise Quinn is over 100 caps, and she's a player who used to play for Arsenal. I think she plays for Birmingham City now. Niamh Fahey, as you correctly said, plays for the women's football team in Liverpool. I think they're 2 very good, solid defenders. I think the experience, and they have a great ability to win headers, win balls in the air. So I think it's vital that them two women are fit for us. I also want to give a mention to Anya O'Gorman. In the games in the Euros, Anya O'Gorman was the unfortunate one that scored the own goal against Ukraine. The last 1-0. They dominated the whole game, Paul. They had the penalty, hit the crossbar, hit the post, hit everything but the back of the net in that game, and Ukraine took that chance. Well, it wasn't that they took it, they just unfortunately they were given it. But Anya O'Gorman felt so sorry for it at the time, because I think she had retired, if I'm not mistaken, and came back. And I felt so sorry for her. She was a good defender. She plays with Shamrock Rovers now, I believe. And I'm delighted for the women, particularly for Anya. I think it was a sad way because she could have packed it in again, but she didn't. She came back, and I'm so delighted for it because I think she plays right back, and she has a bit of competition within places. But I'm just so glad that she's on the plane and that the whole women are going to the World Cup. But particularly for Anya O'Gorman, particularly what happened to her in Ukraine.
Yeah. Now we look at the midfielders, and of course we have Katie McCabe. She's the captain of the Irish team. She's also in play with Arsenal ladies, who won the top teams in England and compete regularly in the European. She was Arsenal Player of the Year. She's the captain. You also have Denise O'Sullivan from Cork. Of course, a good Cork name there. O'Sullivan is one of the top scorers, a very experienced player. But just a quick word there on Katie McCabe. In every team sport, you have to have a captain who can do the stuff on the pitch, but also be a great leader. And she seems to be that one from her experience at club level as well.
Yeah, she's the real leader of this team, Paul, to be quite honest with you, because I think she's the best player as well. She plays left back, left wing sometimes. I think she plays a little bit maybe forward for her and she does for Arsenal. But yeah, I think last Thursday when she went down, she should have rolled her ankle. She said she was taking off precaution because I think when she went down, there was a bit of worry that, oh no, like the one player we can't manage without is Katie McCabe. I think in particular because she's the heartbeat of the team. She's the leader. She always delivers for the team. To be fair to her, she puts her money where the mouth is. And I think, when she went down there, I was worried myself because I think if she's done more damage than what we think, because lucky enough, she rolled ankle. She said a couple of days, to take it easy. Obviously, the plane journey up to Australia the following day probably wouldn't have been the thing she would want, but she had a scan early in the morning before she went, and no real damage showed up. So look, she's gonna have to mind herself. It's gonna have to be obviously it might be a little bit sore coming into the game, but I think the medical team will earn their craft here and earn their money because I think she's the one player we can't do without. I think if she particularly the first game now, if she was playing and she went down again and would it be a risk where if we need a result in the first game, because I think if we lose the first game, we're on the back foot altogether. But is it that I think we have to really look after her now because we need her to play in all three games now. To be fair, I think sometimes ankle injuries, particularly an injury coming into the World Cup, is a worry because if you get a knock in the first game, you mightn't play for the second game, but you may be able to play for the third game, or if it's really bad, you mightn't play again in the tournament. So it is a concern, but she said the scan is okay. She says she'll recover in time. I think she had an injury for the Zambia game where she wasn't playing. I believe she wasn't fit in. She wasn't among the subs. So I think they're going to have to really mind her. Katie herself is going to have to take care of herself as well before that Australia game.
Yeah, and I suppose Katie McCabe also goes in the forward. I think she was one of the top scorers in the qualifying game. She's down there as a midfielder. I suppose you would call it an attacking midfielder or whatever the term you want to use. Maybe breaks forward and root onto the ball. You have Denise O'Sullivan's a good forward and experienced player. You have a Rashida Littlejohn. I know very little about her, but she's kind of a regular player. Lucy Quinn is another experienced player. Now, I know there's a lot of young players too. There's 3 or 4 young players. But that's what you need. In every squad, you need a mixture. You need the experienced players and the younger players. And then just quick the forwards there, Noel. The name that stands out to me, well, they're all, there's Amber Barrett there. She's kind of a live wire forward. Good header of the ball. Well, knows what the goals is, which is probably the most important thing. But again, a lot of them forwards, some of them are probably young, inexperienced players. But it's all part of the mixture you need in the squad.
But that's it, Paul. Amber Barrett, I mean, she's the main reason why we're going to World Cup. She got the goal in the playoff game against Scotland, 1-1. She got the goal. It was a very, very, very good finish. But the thing is, I think Vera Pauw, she hasn't started Amber Barrett in the games I've seen her. She hasn't really started them, but she brings her on as an impact sub.
Yeah.
Vera Karuska there, the first game and the team sheet there in the forwards. She started the game against France in the friendly, and I was actually surprised that Barrett didn't come on. Now, obviously, it's a friendly. Maybe it's just maybe taking care of all the team and maybe saying, look, we don't need to bring her on. We're 2-3-0 down. There's no need to risk it. But yeah, Amber Barrett, she got 2 goals in the friendly against Emery the week before. She's in good form for Ireland. I think it's end of the age. I think she's playing for our foreign.
That's right.
Yeah. So we mightn't see much of her, say as Katie McCabe or Lucy Littlejohn, who are both based in Britain. But yeah, I think I think she's a fine athlete. She's very good. She knows where the goals are. That's for sure.
That's the most
And I think
important thing.
that's the most important. I think she's a bit unlucky not to start. Maybe the super sub thing where players was normally better coming off the bench to make an impact, but they always want to start as well. Would have the same impact starting from the first minute? So I think if we need to go up, particularly the first game is key, Paul. I think it's in Australia. Obviously, their hosts. There's going to be 80,000 there. I think it's going to be a record for an opening match in the Women's World Cup. I'm up to correction on that.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But it's going to be a huge event. I mean, there's going to be thousands of Irish there as well. So yeah, I wish them all the best, and I think as I said, we'll preview more going on. But I think all the 23 women's squad all deserve to be there. And we wish them the very best of luck in the 2022.
And I suppose we should mention too, the manager is she's a Dutch, but I'm going to try and pronounce her name, Vera Pauw. But I obviously I had that pronounced. I apologise. I'm afraid my Dutch is not up to scratch, would say. But she's a long record in coaching. She was outside in America. As I said, it's a professional team. She's also the Netherlands is very strong in the women's soccer. So and she's been involved. She seems to bring in a very professional attitude. There's a big backroom staff behind us. So, and that's very important too when she's coaches as well. So the manager isn't just a single person doing all the work. They need a good team around them, and she's in a very professional attitude on and off the pitch, which is very important.
Oh, totally. I mean, I even interviewed after the playoff match that they won against Scotland. She praised all with Courtney Brosnan, but she also praised the backroom team for analysing the penalties, where the penalties were going to go and stuff like that. So. And she praised all the backroom team and everybody. She said it's not just her; it's all the backroom team. She always makes it very, very clear. It's not just her; it's the whole backroom team, it's the staff, the medical staff, the whole lot. She's really, really into the team building and stuff like that. And I think I don't know, we might touch on it next week about the whole stuff that's in the build up of the World Cup, the allegations made against.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that next week.
We can do that next week. Yeah, I think it's totally unfair. But from what I've seen of her now, she seems down to earth. She's very, very strict, but very, very much knows.
Well, again, if you go back to the top soccer manager, we're talking in English. We had Alex Ferguson. We'll talk about Brian Clough, Kenny Dalglish, Bill Shankly, even the modern Arsene Wenger, even Pep Guardiola. They are strict too. They don't. Yes, they are very strict on the pitch and organising things off the field. That's all part and parcel. There's a time to be going and relax, but you have to, when the business is on, you have to be prepared to do the business, I think.
Well, you have to be prepared to do the business, and they've done the business. They've got to the World Cup finals now. Every year we progressed. I think there was a bit of progression before Pauw got the job, but she's taken on to another level now. We're very unlucky not to the playoffs for the Euros qualifiers. We managed to get into the playoffs for the World Cup, and we did the job in Scotland and our World Cup. So I think they're real bright spark for football in Ireland in general, because other than Jack Charlton's team, Mick McCarthy's team, as a senior squad, this is one of the very few teams who've actually got to the World Cup. So this achievement has to be put up amongst that, particularly for women's football, who were saying one time that they had to change their kits in toilets, which was totally unfair, and they've come a long way. The FAI have come a long way as well, but I think that had to be highlighted back there about 6 or 7 years ago in Liberty Hall. So fair play to them, they've got all that, and they've done the business on the field, which is the main thing.